Well, hello there. For some reason, my music doesn't want to stop here, even though I have it muted. So let me... There it goes. Okay, welcome. Having some technical difficulties today. And there it's starting again. So let me find...
Well, hello there.
The music.
For some reason, my music doesn't want to stop here.
That's interesting.
Even though I have it.
I'm hearing myself
So let me.
after a delay. So let me select the right speaker here. Well, this is very interesting. Well, welcome everybody. I am trying to figure out why I'm coming in twice. So I'm on the correct microphone. So, okay, well, good morning, Bob. Good morning, Kurt, Leslie Ann, Stanley, and the others that have joined us. So let's just see what happens here. It looks like the audio is in the background. And I'm trying to look and see what setting is causing this. Okay, well, I think it's working now. Just I'm getting a delay in my headset. But we will get the show on the road. What do you say? Is causing so this. We are going to talk about iPad OS 15.4. And we're going to get that to look right on your screen. There we go. It's working now. So we're going to look at some of the useful features delay in this headset. New version. But we will get the show on the road. What do you say? Is causing so this. We are going to talk about so this is GoFor Lunch number 99 OS 15.4 delayed audio, and we're going to get that to look right. I'm Roger Harmon. There we go. With GoFor Technology. We're going to look at some of the useful features to make your technology work for you. Headset. And new version, but we will get the show on the road. What do you say? For me here in a second. So we are going to talk back here and see if I can figure this out. Just a second. Sorry for the delay. And so let me look and make sure. Oh, I know. Okay, I got it. I was testing the link here, so I'm hearing my YouTube. There we go. Okay, got that fixed. All right, back to the show. Okay. So, iPad OS 15.4. Now, iPad OS 15 was announced and made available in September. However, we always recommend that you wait until the third version, which would be 15.3 in this case, comes out so that they can iron out all the bugs. So obviously that has already happened. It's still not going to be perfect. And while we're talking about upgrading to operating systems, the Mac operating system, Monterey, is now out at 12.3, which is our recommended time to jump in to a new operating system. So if you were wondering whether it's okay to go to Monterey, then we think it's okay. So let's talk about a feature in iPadOS 15.4, and that's the split keyboard. So as you can see there on the right, you can set up the keyboard so that you can hold your iPad and type with your thumbs. So sometimes that's easier than trying to hold the iPad with one hand and type on the glass keyboard with the other one. To set that up, you simply go to Settings, General, and Keyboard. You toggle the switch next to Split Keyboard to the right to enable it. So it's easy to set up. So that's the way you turn it on, and that's the way you turn it off. So let's talk about Sidecar. Now, Sidecar is not a 15.4 feature. It actually became available with Catalina, and it is compatible with any iPad that has iPadOS 13 or newer. But the reason we're talking about Sidecar is because there is another feature that did come out with 15.4, and it could be a little confusing. So we're going to take the confusing parts away here and make it clear. So you can use Sidecar wirelessly. Both devices must be within 30 feet of each other. You must have Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and handoff turned on in your settings, and your iPad must not be sharing a cellular connection, and your Mac must not be sharing its internet connection. So the confusing feature is called Universal Control, which did come out with 15.4. And it does require Monterey 12.3 or later. So you have to have not only iPadOS 15.4, but Monterey 12.3, which is the current version, for Universal Control to work. And so obviously you have to have an iPad using 15.4 or later. So Sidecar, to explain the difference, allows the iPad to serve as an external monitor for your Mac, whereas Universal Control allows the Mac keyboard and mouse or trackpad to control an iPad and or an additional Mac. And allegedly it can be more than one Mac. So here would be a typical setup for a Sidecar. On the left we have a MacBook, and on the right we have an iPad. And so it's extending the screen of the iPad. You can simply drag and drop things from the Mac to the iPad screen and manipulate them just like you would with a second monitor. Universal Control, on the other hand, allows you to have one Mac, which we'll say is this MacBook in the middle, and it can control not only one iPad, but it can control one or more other Macs. So you can move from one to the other with ease. So that's the difference. Now, what would be a use case here? Well, perhaps you have an iMac that is becoming excruciatingly slow, and you still want an all-in-one computer, but the word, of course, is that there is no 27-inch iPad coming out in the foreseeable future, if ever. So you could get a 24-inch iMac, get your all-in-one computer, and use Universal Control to extend your screen to your MacBook and to an iPad. So that is the way that could work for you. So the features here, Sidecar, again, to review, acts as a secondary Mac display. It can mirror the content on the Mac, but doesn't have to. It extends your Mac OS desktop area, real estate. It does support the Apple Pencil as an input device, and if you have a MacBook Pro with a touch bar, it extends that to optional features. And you have to manually set it up, and it can connect either wirelessly or wired. And it is limited to one connected iPad. Universal Control can control multiple Macs and iPads, works across Mac OS and iPad OS, has some drag and drop capabilities, but also some limitations. It does not support Apple Pencil, interestingly enough, and you must have at least one Mac to make it work. And it doesn't support Mac OS trackpad gestures on the iPad. It supports the trackpad, but not the gestures like pinch and 3 fingers and things like that. And it works automatically. And it only works wirelessly. So those are your differences between Sidecar and Universal Control. So another new feature in 15.4 is in keychain access. Keychain access, of course, is the password management system that comes with all of your Apple devices from the factory, as we like to say. So now you can add notes to keychain passwords. So why would you want to add a note to a keychain password entry? Well, how about those security questions that you have to remember when you go into a website and want to change something? You could put the security questions in the notes in keychain access and any other miscellaneous information that might be helpful. So it also stops iCloud Keychain from saving passwords when you don't have a username. So needless to say, a password without a username is not very happy, and so it will not save those, which eliminates some clutter. In Keychain Access, it's not as well organized as other password managers, such as 1Password. So that eliminates some extra entries when it won't put in a password without a username. So the magnifier has been updated in 15.4. So now you have the option between switching from a front-facing camera to a rear-facing camera. And this is not on the iPad, this is on the iPhone, but I thought we'd mention it here. So it can use the ultra-wide angle if you have a phone with that feature. And it will also automatically switch between the appropriate camera dynamically. So that's kind of a neat feature. So another thing that I've had some questions on, so I thought I'd just throw it in here, and that's how to add widgets to your home screen. So when you're on the home screen, you touch and hold a widget until it wiggles, and then you tap the Add button in the little pop-up menu in the left-hand corner, and then you select a widget. You can choose from 3 different sizes, and then tap Add a Widget, and then tap Done. So widgets are very handy. You can put things that you use frequently on your home screen, and that is a nice new feature. So let's talk about our survey for celebrating GoFor Lunch number 100, which is only a week away. Whether we want to do an in-person gathering. So there was a survey in the Gopher Gazette this last Monday, and we've received 3 responses as of this morning, and only 2 of those people wanted to attend, and I'm thinking that probably want to have a minimum of 6 RSVPs for sure, people that are going to attend, because it's going to take some planning. I need to, figure out a venue. The 2 people that were in favor of doing it at a restaurant instead of in a park. So that's fine, but I need to find a restaurant. Right now I'm thinking of Bed Bath & Beyond, which is the one on Campbell between Grant and Fort Lowell. Pretty well centrally located. They have a nice outdoor area with shade, covered dining area, so I think it will be a great place to do this. I will have to get over there and do a site survey, find out if the internet is good enough so I can stream the GoFor Lunch to the people that are still at home. So if you haven't done the survey, please do. And pass it around. So any questions or comments, please type them in the comments on the right hand side of your screen. And please feel free to share the Gopher Gazette by forwarding that email that you got on Monday morning about 7 o'clock to your friends and family that use Apple devices so we can help more people. And we're always looking for topics for our future episodes. I want to thank Leslie Ann for bringing up the topic of adding your Arizona driver's license to your Apple Wallet. And we did not demonstrate that because, of course, that would have exposed my driver's license to the whole world, which I thought was maybe a security problem. So we got rid of that little problem by not doing it. But we did put the instructions on how to do it, and I've done it. It works fine. Right now, the only place you can actually use that is Sky Harbor Airport, but there will be additional locations that will be added in the future. So let's look at our comments and see who else has signed in. Susan. Yes, thanks. Yeah. So I'm just like you. I have problems with it making the technology work too. And thanks, Kurt, for letting me know that we fixed that little problem. Good afternoon, Mary. And the audio is good now. And Susan was hearing us twice or more. Oh, then it was echoing again. Hello, Judy. And Bob has a question. Does Sidecar require Monterey? No. Sidecar requires Catalina. And to do the other, the universal desktop, that requires Monterey. But Sidecar does work on Catalina or later. So if you have Catalina or Big Sur, you can still use Sidecar. Did I say Bed Bath & Beyond? Yes, you're right. I meant Beyond Bread on Campbell between Grant and Fort Lowell. And yes. Okay, well, good. Leslie Ann will be in Ireland. Pretty lame excuse, I think. Okay, so Beyond Bread, Bath and Beyond. So interesting that I said that. Okay, where are your instructions for adding the driver's license to the wallet? Well, let me look. I believe it's in the Gopher Gazette. Let me double check and make sure that I put that in there, but I'm pretty sure I did. So if we look for Gopher Gazette, and of course when you search in mail, well, here's an email from Leslie Ann with the Gopher Gazette in here, I think. Let's see here. Well, there it is. For some reason, I can't get my scroll to work. There we go. Now it's working. Going up to the top here. And scrolling over to the right. Yes, it's right there on the right-hand side of your Gopher Gazette. There's a link to right there in green. It says here are the steps to take. If you click on that, then you will get the complete step-by-step instructions on how to add your Arizona driver's license. So Leslie Ann did find it. Good. So do we have anybody here from the Tucson Macintosh user group for the first time? As we've announced before, we are doing a collaboration with the Tucson Macintosh user group so that we can have you share their programs and they share our programs. So If you are here from T-Mug for the first time, please type hello in the in the comments. I'll drink to that. I imagine it will. So have a safe trip, Leslie Ann. So does anybody have any hey, we got a bunch of humorous people here today. That's always good. To T-Mug and beyond. The T-Mug meetings, by the way, are the third Tuesday of each month, every month on the third Tuesday. Except maybe in July we won't have a meeting. We're not sure about that yet. Stay tuned. Okay, so I don't see any other questions or comments, so I think we're going to just wrap this guy up and wish you all a great afternoon and just the right amount of rain at your place. If you have any other comments or questions, you can always email me or telephone me at the following locations.